It's just another week of Johnston retreating and Sherman doing things and Grant trying to destroy Lee and losing men and nothing really happening except loss of life. And it's 1864 and this war was supposed to be over in 3 months. Hello and welcome to Civil War in Hindsight. I'm Lieutenant Tommy. With me, as always, is Prospector Johnny. And Johnny, it's another week of shooty, shooty, kill, kill, move, move, move. That's the name of the game.
Shoot, shoot, kill, kill, move, move, move.
Yep.
Somebody's going to make that a beat.
It's going to open up with more movement by Grant and Sherman's armies. On the 27th, Sheridan's Cav is going to occupy Hanover Town with some light fighting there. Meanwhile, in Georgia, there is some heavier skirmishing near Mount Zion Church as Sherman continues to attempt to flank Johnston's forces, who generally continue to withdraw. Like, this is just the name of the game for the last month.
Okay.
On the 28th, we're going to see Lee rushing southeast towards Pamunkey near Hanover Town to attempt to get in front of Grant yet again. And being in your own town, in your home state, like, not hometown, but home state, you got the advantage. You know the terrain. You know how to get there. He once again beats Grant to where he's going.
You know what? All right, you know what? You said it last week, and I thought about it a little bit. And do you really, Lieutenant Tommy?
You know the roads to take.
Walk around Indiana.
Fair enough.
Not around Indianapolis. Up in your big city where it's all a grid planned out and bullshit. Walk around Indiana and see if you
like Fort
know
Wayne?
where to
I don't
go
know where anything in Fort
get.
Wayne is. Yeah, fair enough.
No, you don't know where shit is.
Yeah.
It's still just a countryside with a bunch of roads that go in.
But maybe if my army's comprised mostly of Virginians, like there's bound to be one Virginian that's from Hanover Town.
You think that's what's happening? Okay, no, you're right.
Might be.
You're right.
Might be that.
Tommy. That's what's happening. Is the leader, the captain, whoever's leading the march is saying, "Hey, who lives in this area? Come to the front and navigate."
Yeah, I bet you.
And then,
sure.
Are we out of your county now? Okay, you go to the back. Hey, new person from the back. Come to the front and navigate.
Yeah,
direct this army. That's what's happening.
I got you. Yep, that's exactly what's happening. Meanwhile, Johnny, out in Georgia, there's some heavier skirmishing near Mount Zion Church as Sherman continues to flank Johnston. I've already said that. We're repeating, whatever, doesn't matter. On the 28th.
No, this is deja vu. But hey, you know what else is deja vu? This entire war, because nothing's happening. Nothing is changing.
No.
On
the 28th, we got Lee rushing down to Pamunkey, and we've got Johnston who's going to attempt to prevent Sherman from moving on his flank by sending Hardee to do a reconnaissance force against McPherson's near Dallas. It does not go to plan for Hardee. He's going to suffer heavy losses and has to withdraw. Hey, Union-ish victory. Johnny, side note,
cool.
Remember that whole Mexican war with French thing that's going on?
Of course not.
Remember how we said that we don't want France to put a German monarch in Mexico as a Mexican king?
Right.
And we said we're not going to have that. Well, he lands. Habsburg is going to land.
The France-appointed German monarch lands?
Maximilian of Habsburg is going to land at Veracruz to take the Mexican throne.
They just shipped one over anyway? They just shipped him over. Mm-hmm. He's straight off the boat and just be like, this guy, was he raised in some sort of ruler school? What gives him...
zero. There is zero right for a German to take over the Mexican crown that does not exist.
But what gives him the ability?
Because he's a German ruler that France supports, and they're putting him on the throne.
What did he rule What's his resume? What did he rule previous?
His daddy ruled something.
His daddy sent his
nepotism, Johnny. It's nepotism. What do you want?
It's not nepotism. Nepotism gets you good things. This daddy didn't want his child and sent him across the ocean to get killed by savages, is what he expected.
Mexicans aren't savages.
I didn't say they were. Did you see my quotation marks?
Oh, no, I didn't. But
that was the dad's saying. He's savages because he wanted his son to get killed.
I gotcha.
Because he knew we couldn't fight. Yeah. But instead, Spain escorted him there and said, nope, you're in charge.
The leader of Mexico, Benito Juarez, does not like this and will continue to fight.
Former leader of Mexico? Or
no, he's still... I mean, the Mexicans are still very much like, hey, do you remember Cinco de Mayo? Because we're going to repeat that if you keep fucking with us. Yeah.
Seems fair.
Relatively quiet, Johnny, on the 29th, as Lee and Grant continue setting up positions near Hanovertown and Pamunkey, while Sherman and Johnston continue to take pot shots at each other over near Dallas. Despite no substantial battle yet in Georgia, the attrition is setting in with only a few minor skirmishes, but Johnston's forces are getting fewer and fewer and fewer, and his men are getting hungrier and hungrier and hungrier, and he's starting to have some desertion issues in his army.
Have they tried hunting?
They probably
I've
should.
heard that the South is super good at that.
Full of game. Boar. Deer.
And from what I've heard in the future, now I understand folks from the North are unable to hunt. They don't
bad
know
shots.
how to do it.
Horrible shots.
Yeah,
Yep.
can't do it.
No idea how to hunt.
And that because of the great industries that we have up there.
Yep.
But from the South, I'm
All
pretty
country,
sure from the
everybody's
age
a
of 6
sharpshooter.
or 7,
Yep.
everybody is able to survive off the land with no outside aid or help.
None. Nada.
And so I'm having a real difficult time understanding why this army made up of self-sufficient, live off the land, good old boys are having a difficult time finding food in forests in the South in the middle of summer, which is, by the way, you know how many deer I have seen out and about walking around?
Well, that's because you don't know how to hunt them,
I've
Johnny.
walked into 3 of them.
You
Straight up walked into them. Bang!
You don't know how to hunt 'em.
Jesus! Sorry, I missed you.
Apologize.
God, what a mistake I made. If only I had a gun and was hungry, I could have shot you and fed 20 of us. But I'm inept because I'm from the north and don't know how to hunt.
Yep.
And so I was unable to do that. Instead, I just went to my local grocery store, which had food because we have an industry.
That's the thing that we, yep. Anyways, Johnny, on the 30th, we're going to see...
dying.
On the 30th, we're going to see...
You bums.
Grant's main force arrive to start to probe Lee's lines towards Cold Harbor. Meanwhile, Johnston and Sherman's positions seem to be at a standstill. And Morgan, beware, Johnny, Morgan's on the raid back in Kentucky again.
Hey, have we not? Did we not? Can somebody please?
Do something about him?
Shooting him with this bow and arrow if he comes
next
back.
time. Yeah.
Sorry, Morgan. Sorry about you. You're getting a bow and arrow to the knee. With just the arrow. I'll keep the bow.
Yeah. Lines continue.
But if I have to, I will throw the bow at you.
Throw the bow at him, hit him. Well, I mean,
scared.
you can take the cord off and use it as a whip if you want. Yeah.
I
their own medicine.
already got
just use the whip. Yeah, you got that.
Yeah,
there you go.
Got covered there too.
Johnny, lines continue to shift around Cold Harbor as the month ends. And again, similar situation over in Georgia. June is going to open up at the start of the Battle of Cold Harbor as Grant moves on Cold Harbor near the 7 Days Battle of 1862, way back in the day of the early parts of the war. He's going to find Lee's forces already setting up defensive work.
Okay. So we're back to where we were.
Same battleground that we were at in 1862.
Same thing.
Yeah, same area. Yep.
Have the bodies been cleaned up yet?
Yeah. Even if they haven't been, it's been 2 years, so they're decomposed at this point.
Wool lasts longer than 2 years, Lieutenant.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the cold
bones
rebels
also
have taken that.
So,
but, anyways, Johnny. R.H. Anderson's Corps is going to kick things off by attacking Sheridan's Federal Cavalry near Old Cold Harbor. 2 Southern charges in the morning will be repulsed. Sheridan is going to be reinforced by Wright's 6th Corps late in the morning. Lee sees Wright's arrival, shifts his forces to the left, and the Union 18 Corps is late arriving from the White House. Not the northern White House, the dirty southern White House. Wright and Smith's assault...
also the president's primary
location? No, not
just
not
a
no,
White
just,
House
just a white,
in the South?
It's Lee's White House, yeah.
Just a white house. A house that's white.
Yep.
Call it that. Call it a house that's white.
A White House.
Otherwise, you're going to confuse folks because the White House is where
not the White House. It's
our
a White
president
House.
of the United States
Yes.
of America
That's the one.
resides.
Yep.
It's the only White House, like the only, like the Ohio State.
Yes.
Will be in the future. Someday, I predict, maybe.
Federal troops underneath Wright and Smith are not able to assault until about 6 o'clock in the afternoon, where they saw some small gains, but they have to entrench their lines when they meet heavy Confederate resistance. It's like, oh, we gained a yard, and then we have to stop.
Sure, it's because they waited till 6 p.m.?
Yeah, it was late.
That's got to be like the latest start ever.
It was late. It was a late push.
Wait until 4 a.m.
Yeah,
like
so
you
it's a
normally
late push.
do.
Confederate cav is going to push on the north end of the line near Ashland, where the Union cav has to fall back to Hanover Courthouse. So we're gaining ground on one end of the battlefield, losing ground on the other end of the battlefield. Meanwhile,
twisty,
Johnny, out in Georgia, Union cav underneath Stoneman is going to capture and secure Allatoona, which is an all-important railroad to Chattanooga that goes through Allatoona. We got that railroad head. So now Sherman can actually use the railroad line from Chattanooga to reinforce food, troops, equipment, bullets, all that fun stuff.
So
Sherman's now even in stronger position in Georgia. Yes, yeah.
We like that.
That's good. The week's going to end on the 2nd with Grant planning an assault on Cold Harbor, but that's not going to happen because he has ammunition problems, troop fatigue, and it rains all day long, so he has to wait till next week to find out what happens at Cold Harbor. That's it for this week in Civil War in Hindsight. If you enjoy Civil War in Hindsight, check out Historic Hindsight. We do all kinds of fun things. We've got shorts on rare guns, like a boxed version of the FP45 Liberator. We also show M3 half tracks. I've got a video coming up about the Willys Jeep. There are long format videos on obscure things like stupid weapons that we had in World War II. So check it out. Or don't. It's fine.